So, who's the best example? What am I talking about? Let's find out. Welcome back. Right, who is the best example? What the hell am I talking about? Who's the best example of what? In general? Or who's the best example of... So what do I mean, who's the best example? What literally is this all about? Often if you're in a particular niche, whether that's an online business or someone you just aspire to be, or like a hero, something like that, we all kind of like to have an example of someone we're like... kind of following or copying, maybe sometimes. Yeah, I suppose someone we aspire to be, or someone we aspire to be like, probably better. And that example is the person that I'm referring to in this. So it's that person who might have the traits that you like, or you said you aspire to, or they might have a particular skill. They're setting an example that you like. So someone like, say, Tony Robbins. If you're in that kind of personal development space, Tony Robbins is almost like sort of the guy. And so he sets the best example. He is the best example of a personal development guru, leader, whatever. Depending on what your area of focus is, your niche or niche, if you're American, the person who's the best example is quite almost personalized to that particular area. So let's park that to one side for a moment. So one problem that kind of arises with a lot of people, and maybe you can relate, is the fact that in a particular area of your life that you want to teach something. Now, whether it's a parent teaching a child, or in your job you're teaching somebody, or you're online and you're perhaps wanting to go into kind of an information type business and you want to sort of teach people about a particular subject, whether that's skincare, weight loss, or whatever it may be. The point is that you kind of want to be someone that provides information and provides guidance, that kind of thing. And it's always said that the best way to kind of really understand something is to teach it. There's a lot of truth in that, because when you have to explain something to somebody else, it does help you to then solidify the knowledge in your own mind. So that's all Gucci. Now, this is where the problem kind of arises. So often I'd see people online, and hopefully you can't relate to this, that they're looking to teach something, said whether it's, say, weight loss or fitness, videography, whatever it is, and they're not actually doing it themselves. Now, I'm not saying you have to be the expert in a particular subject or niche to be able to teach something within that subject or niche, but you have to at least be doing what you're teaching. You may not be the sort of expert level, but you at least have to be following your own advice when you're teaching it, because straight away, if you're not, there's this level of incongruency between what you're saying and what you're doing, and it just shouts of do as I say, don't do as I do. And if there's one guaranteed way to make people kind of turn away from you and go, no, it's the fact that they see you saying one thing or teaching one thing, and then what you're actually doing is something completely different, because then it's like, well, you're saying do this, or worse, buy this, and yet you're not doing it. So if this thing that you're talking about or selling is so good, why aren't you doing it or using it?
Say what?
Whatever the case may be. And that's a very valid question. Now, it doesn't have to be, as I said, and this is a very important point, it doesn't have to be that you're the expert in this particular field. But if you're teaching or giving advice or, stuff like that on, say, a weight loss product or weight loss diet or exercise, that kind of genre, you at least have to be kind of going on or be on that journey when you're teaching and giving advice to other people. Because if you've either been on that journey, good. If you're on that journey, kind of almost better, because people can relate to you. You're not quite there yet, but you're going through the same struggles that they're going through. People can relate to you massively, and so perfect. But if you're giving advice, information, etc. on weight loss, and yet you're just living this totally unhealthy lifestyle, and it's quite clear that you're not following your own advice or using your own products, then immediately there's no trust, because people will buy who they know, like, and trust, and they go, well, hang on a minute, makes no sense. So firstly, there's the kind of incongruency that you want to avoid massively in any kind of marketing or sales scenario, because you want people to know, like, and trust you, and that's the first thing. And this may be a bad example, because I haven't really put a lot of thought into this example because it's just come to me, but one example example would be if you went to a BMW car dealer and you're sort of chatting to the salesman about particular cars and models, etc., and you just say to him, what car do you drive? And he goes, oh, well, I've got a Mercedes. That's got to provoke some questions. Now, depending on taste, and BMW and Mercedes, I would imagine they're a luxury car brand, but they're pretty similar in sort of price and quality and that sort of thing. And generally relatively affordable. It's not like a Lamborghini deal or something like that, because that's very, very sort of specialist. But something like that, well, okay, but you're selling BMW cars and yet you don't drive one, you drive a Mercedes. Why? From a quality perspective, they're both very similar. It'd be interesting to sort of see what the answer is. Whatever the answer is, it's not going to look good, because if BMW's only made two-seater convertible cars, fine, because it might go, well, I've got a family, I need a 5 or 7-seater. That's totally fine, because obviously that particular make, but BMW and Mercedes pretty much make the same type of cars or same sort of models and sizes and that sort of thing. So if a salesman's working for BMW and he drives a Mercedes, it doesn't make it sense, and it says a lot then straight away. The person who's getting you to believe in the brand and invest in the quality and all that doesn't do that himself, straight away there's questions. Why? What's going on? So it's like you're promoting one particular make of skincare or something like that, and you don't actually use it. You use L'Oreal or something. Clearly, I know nothing about makes of skincare. You're saying one thing but doing something else. That straight away gives sort of lack of trust when it's found out, and it's such a real kind of oh. And I've seen it countless times where celebrities or particular celebrity has endorsed a certain weight loss program or product, and you think, okay, great, she's gone from there to there, great, and therefore fine. And then it turns out they didn't actually do that, they had surgery, and then straight away you're like, and so your belief has gone completely, and your trust and all that stuff is gone completely in not only the celebrity but also the brand, because and that's basically the point. I remember, when it comes to brand, you are the brand. So who is the best example? You are. This seems to sort of seem a bit of a recurring point I make. I often say you are, because ultimately you, me, us are all in control of everything we do, whether it's things we say, things we feel, how we act, how we treat others, all of that stuff. When you put it all together in the package, that's brand you. And whether or not you have a business, don't have a business, want a business, don't want a business, doesn't matter. The brand of you is still present. And if you go for a job interview, you're kind of selling you. You're selling you as the package, the brand. If you're starting a business or you've got some sort of online presence, that's the brand of you. It's not just about having a business or making money or anything like that. It's the brand and what you do, what you stand for, and how you engage with the world. That's your brand. So taking that further, when you do have an online presence or you're having a business or something like that, the best example is you of that brand or that thing. So you have to kind of, if you're talking the talk, you've got to walk the walk. You've got to do the thing that you're promoting, the thing that you're teaching, the thing that you're explaining. You have to be that thing. You have to be that brand. Because he said, if you're promoting this thing and you don't touch it with a barge pole, that's very, very confusing for the people that you want to interact with you. You want people to say it's very clear cut. You're promoting this and you use this daily. This is the thing. And then people see that and it's very clear. Don't make life overly complicated. Make things very, very clear for people. Don't sort of try to be all complex and overcomplicate the whole thing. No, be very, very simple and clear. Be the person, be the brand, be the best example of the thing that you're promoting, say from a business perspective, or even if it's just you as you without a company, be the best example of you. So be your best self. It's always traditionally said of the best thing is to be yourself. Now I challenge that. Be yourself, yes, but be your best self, because you can have best self and a self, and you want to be your best self, which is same as I've said many times. Like, always bring your A game. Do the best you can of everything you do, no matter what it is, whether it's making your bed or a piece of work, a video, whatever. Always put 150,000 million % into everything you do, because then one, you're going to feel proud about what you've done, but also people are going to see that's something that you stand for. And as an example, back again, you are the best example. And then if you want to create some sort of following, whether it's financially based in the case of a business or just friends or whatever it may be, from a charity or just being a stand-up person or a great example as a parent, all of that comes from you being the best example of you and just bringing your A game and doing it. So that's it for today. Kind of rambled a bit, but kind of sort of got there in the end. So ultimately, yeah, the best example is you, and remember that, and always be your best self. So I hope you got some value from this. If you have kind of liked it, I said it's a bit rambly, but if you have liked it, as always, hit that like button so it's nice and blue, and leave me a comment below. Is this something that kind of makes sense to you? Have you ever sort of sold something or promoted something, or even yourself, and you sort of didn't like it, you sort of did it for sort of all the wrong reasons, you kind of had this kind of mixed message, and maybe that's why you didn't get results or something? Leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't. I love it when you subscribe, it really means a lot. And hit the bell notification so when you know I'm releasing a new video. I will be kind of soon mixing up and changing my uploading schedule slightly to make things a bit, to mix it up really, and so I'll sort of let you know when that's happening. But for now, thanks for watching, I really appreciate it, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.